Okay, today on my last video, I told you that I was going to be painting a D&D, another D&D gargoyle, since on the last video we also did a gargoyle. So, in this video we are going to be doing a gargoyle. And this gargoyle is a little bit harder. But we're also going to be painting with a little bit more colors and a little bit more techniques. So it's kind of going to make the painting a little bit harder too. So if you aren't comfortable with doing this, then listen to the first part of the video and then you can skip the rest. But if you want to keep doing it and you want a challenge, feel free, keep watching the video, and we're going to be doing some other techniques. Okay, let's get painting. Now, as you can see, we have our gargoyle. And like I said in the last video, the first thing you do with a D&D guy is you absolutely need to prime them. In the last video, I did not explain the reason you need to prime them is because if you do not prime your figure before you paint them, the paint will chip off. Priming will keep your figure all painted. So, first step is we have to do the base coat. Now, a base coat brush is one of these flat end brushes. First thing you gotta do, if you haven't already, you need to wash your brush. Now, if your brush is dry now, we are going to be doing the first color of our gargoyle. That is going to be Dungeon Stone. Alright, it's a really good color when you are doing stone objects, especially like a stone gargoyle. Okay, make sure to shake it up. Then, remember, 1 drop is enough. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of our Dungeon Stone, and we are going to be covering fully our gargoyle. Remember to try to get all of the little crevices on your creature. You want to get every edge when you're base coating. Even if your guy's mouth is open, remember to get in the mouth. And if one spot of your guy has a really big lump of paint, always remember to spread that big lump or all that paint around, because you really only need 1 or 2 drops of paint. If you're using more, then you might be doing something wrong. But if it's like a big figure, like a dragon, and I will get to some, and I'll show you some of my dragons around the end of the video. if it's a big figure like a dragon, obviously you will need more than 2 drops. But for a guy like a gargoyle, you don't really need that many drops. You really only need 2 or 3. 1, 2, or 3, I don't know. Just depends on how your guy's pose is too. Your guy is standing in a pose where a lot of its body parts are spread out, then you need a lot more paint. But like my last one, I needed only 2 drops. This one, he's a little more spread out. So I'm gonna go with 3. And we're gonna get, you always need to get the bottom of your guy, unless they are standing on a base that is already painted. Then you do not need to get their bottom. And my gargoyle is not done yet. I have not finished the first coat. I have not finished the base coat. But as you can see, the gargoyle is already looking pretty good. And this is like my newest hobby. Like, I cannot stop doing this. Like, I just love painting. Now, let's see. Now, most about my figure is about covered. There's one part that I still am trying to get, although I'm having some troubles. But I am practically done. If I am going too fast, always remember to pause the video. This should never be a stressful kind of thing. I mean, I like it when you guys are having fun, and I'm definitely having fun doing this. So, as long as you're having fun, it's a win-win. Now, I have finished with, actually, one more thing. Okay. Now I am finished. Wait a second. Sorry about this. I just can't get everything. Now I am finished with the base coat. If your guy looks like this, then you have done it right. If it looks a little bit different, that's okay. It's either better or worse. But no matter what, it's always, as long as you like your figure, it's perfect. Okay, so we have our figure, and on this figure, it's really hard to see. I can barely even see it myself. But near its head, might be blurry for you, there is a little eye hole. This gargoyle is a cyclops, unlike the other one. So, we are going to be taking our Cambion Crimson. You can use any other color. For my gargoyle's eyes, I usually like to do a red, but there's over there's over 40 different colors that you could do your eyes. Though this is one of my favorite colors. So always remember to shake it up. Then, once it stops sounding like a liquid, always drop one little drop onto your thing. Now, you want to take your most detailed brush and, pop the lid off. If yours is already off, that's good. Now, remember, dip it in some water, dry it off, boom. Now, you're going to take the slightest touch of red, and on his head, I'm going to add a circle. One eye. Now that he has his one eye, you're going to wash your detail brush. If you watched the last video, you may have not, but this is the really fun part. We're going to start turning this guy from good to awesome. You are going to take your shadow wash, and we're going to be covering this guy fully in shadow wash. Everything, the eye, the ground, the wings, the body, everything. So remember, shadow wash, you do not need to shake. Just need to screw off the little tiny lid. Then 2 drops is enough when you're doing shadow wash. Take your regular brush, wipe it off. Now we are ready to start adding shadow wash, my favorite part. On Gargoyle, it is looking good. Remember, shadow wash will sometimes take off some of your paint. If that happens and you do not like that, once the shadow wash has dried, that usually takes around 5-ish minutes. Once it is dried, feel free to cover that spot gently in that color. And yeah, so I'm just covering my guy in some of the shadow wash. It is looking good on him currently. Now I have just done his wings in shadow wash, and they are looking really good. Now, my figure is almost covered in shadow wash. Shadow wash is really valuable stuff. So remember not to use too many drops. Now, mine is about almost fully covered in shadow wash. I'm going to get a couple more areas that I might have missed. Now, most of your gargoyle should be covered in shadow wash. I mean, you do not have to get the bottom because most of the figures should have came with something that looks a little bit like this. So most of the figures come with stuff that look like this. The point of these, you take the figure, you just super glue them on, so when you're in the dungeon or on your adventure with your figures, they can easily stand up without tipping over. But you don't super glue until your figure is fully done. It's an important thing. So once you know your figure is done and it's ready, then you super glue it. And trust me, you're gonna really regret it if you super glue it and you want to fix it. You're gonna really, really regret it. Okay. So, like I do in most videos, while we wait for the shadow wash or anything that takes a little while to dry, I normally show you some of my previous figures that I've painted. Okay, so and my first figure that I've ever painted, you might have saw in the last video, was this guy. His name is Dritz Du Erden. Seriously, in D&D, that's his name. Then my second guy was Lava Elemental. Then Ice Elemental. And if you look at Drizzt, he has two swords. Each handle chooses each monster. Blue points to him, and the red sword points to him. So that was kind of a coincidence. Not really. I purposely did that. But then I did this humongous reptile. He was one of my hardest ones that I have painted. He is actually one of the only figures that I've super glued to a base. And if you look, he is really big compared to Gargoyle. And it just felt Gargoyle. He is starting to dry. So here is that guy. And then one of my newest ones was Owlbear. He was also pretty big. As you can see, he was also huge compared to Gargoyle. And so Gargoyle is almost dry. Then my most previous figure that I have painted, you guys might have followed along with me, was our basic Gargoyle. This is what Gargoyle is going to end up looking like once he finished drying and we put his second coat of stone on. He's going to end up looking pretty realistic, I think. So, by now, Gargoyle should be done drying. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little more dungeon stone, give it a good shake, put one drop down, and you're going to take that drop, you're just going to lightly do it on there, and then you're going to, with the rest of it, you're going to kind of cover your gargoyle. Don't get in the cracks. That's important. To make it look good, you kind of want to avoid the cracks. If you miss something, good. You just really want to just randomly get it. You don't want to focus on anything. You just kind of want to give it a light coloring. And that will make him look a little more stone than metal. See, that looks pretty good. I might have to do my back a little more. Now, my back looks pretty stone instead of metal now. And I'm going to get a little bit on the base. And now, we are ready for the next steps. And in the last video, this is where we stopped. But in this video, we're a little bit past halfway. So make sure to wash your brush. Clean. And you need your most detailed brush for this part. Cap off. Remember? To wash. Oh, man. Now, you may not have this color, but we're going to take orc skin and I'm going to shake it, and just one little drop is good. Now, what we are going to do, take your super detail brush and take the slightest little thing of orc skin, and on the high areas on the wing, we are going to cover it in the slightest bit of orc skin. I only did one part of the wing, that one stroke there. See it? You're going to do that to every out. So first we're just going to do this to our wings, and only on the outside to start. And at the end of your wing, all of them have a little spike or a hook, whatever you call it. And you want to cover that in orc skin. Now that this outside part of the wing is covered in some orc skin, it's looking a little bit good, a little bit better. Now you're going to do the exact same thing to the other wing. So on the other wing, I started to run out of some work skin. I gotta get a little more for get another dip. And now we have almost our second. Now the outside of our second wing is done. So the gargoyle is looking good. On the back, you can see he has those. And if you think it doesn't look good on how it stands out, do not worry. We are going to do something about that. I'm not going to keep it like this. Remember, this one is we're doing a not so hard figure, but we're going to bring it to almost the max on how we make it look painted. Like by the end, it's almost going to look store-bought. So, like pre-painted, store-bought. So on the inside of the wings, on the high areas, you want to do the same thing really carefully. So now, your wing should look pretty good. Mine looks good. That wing is fully done. Now I just need to do this wing here. That does not have its inside done yet. And now this wing is almost done. Your gargoyle may look a little bit messy. Do not worry about that. Mine definitely does. Mine definitely looks messy. Now, for the tail, if I am, you do not have to. For only the top of the tail, though, you're gonna put I put a little bit of orc skin, and for me, I'm gonna do his spine too. Some cracks on his spine. Now for his horns, I'm putting a light amount. For his horns, now he's looking a little bit better. I'm gonna get the old gargoyle. The old one just looked like that. Which one looks better? I actually kind of think this one. But don't worry. This one is going to end out 5 times as good. It's a construction site. This one is a done building, but it's a little junky shop. This is right now junky, but it's going to be turned into a really fancy hotel. Now, we are going to do a little bit harder stuff. You're not going to be used to this. We are going to be taking some dungeon stone. Shake it always. Then 1 drop. Always wipe off your thing. Now we are going to be using this brush, regular brush, and you are going to take a little bit of dungeon stone and wipe it off. Then on his wing where the white stuff is, you are going to cover in dungeon stone. And it's going to be this lightish color. You're going to take another little drop, wipe it off a little so there's not a lot. And then you're going to wipe it with this. And then same with this side, just a little bit. You're going to be wiping it so it kind of gets down the middle. Now it looks like that. Looks a little better, doesn't it? And on the insides, it looks good too. Just for the wings though. And they may be a little messy, I understand that. That's just how it's going to look. It's going to be kind of messy stone. You do not like that, then maybe you should not do this step. Sorry if I told you and it was too late and you already had done it. Now, he's looking like this. Pretty realistic now. A lot, and he may look almost the same as you may think he looks just like the other gargoyle, and we did absolutely nothing. But let me get the other gargoyle. There's a difference. So, as you can see, this gargoyle is a little bit, he's a little bit more gray. This one has more color. It's more of a colorful gargoyle. But don't worry, we're not done yet. Not done. This may be a long video, I know, but we're going to start using some grass. This color is called Feywood Emerald. So, always remember to shake up your paint. Then always use 1 drop. Okay. Now, you want to get regular brush, always remember to wipe it off. Now, you're going to take 1 little little bit of this green, and you're going to wipe it off there. And then on the base, make sure it's only on the base, you're going to rub it. Make sure there's only a little bit when you get to the base. And this will kind of give it a, like, kind of mixed in. Like, look at, see how it's kind of green there? I like that kind of. Now, your figure is almost done. Now, what you're going to do, with some shadow wash, you're going to just gently shade the wings of your figure. Gently, just gently. Don't do it rough so it gets all shady. Just a gentle shade on the outside. You already have done it on the inside of the wings. That is okay. I don't care if you do that. If you think it looks good, then good. But on the outside, to make it have that darkish color. Now, Gargoyle is almost finished. Though, one more thing. For mine, the eye kind of got washed away. If that happened to you, we are going to put the eye, we're going to paint the eye. So get your most detailed brush. Always remember to wash it. Then I'm going to use Cambion Crimson. And I'm going to shake it up. 1 drop. And then from there, you are just going to take the slightest little dip, I know, and you are going, to get the eyes. You may not see it. I have a hard time seeing it on mine. But now, look at your gargoyle. Let's get our other gargoyle. I can see a bit of a difference. Do you? Which one looks better? I'm actually going to do something. I'm actually going to take my brush. I'm going to take some dungeon stone and slightly rub it over the green. I'm not going to take up all the green. But now, into the wings too. Give more of a dungeon stone-ish color on the back wings. Just a slight tint. There. And now, if you want to use a little more shadow wash, you can. I might. I'm always going back and forth through things. Now, I'm just going to use some shadow wash. And just going to use it on the back part of the wing. And I'm actually going to use it some on the inside. Make that look a little bit better. And scrape away some of that shadow wash. That will make it look a little bit better. Now, if you think shadow wash looks good, remember not to use too much. Too much shadow wash does not look good. I've learned that from some experience. I thought it looked too good, and I tried covering the whole guy in it, and he ended out a black glob. So only use a slight bit of shadow wash. And for this last part, I'm only putting it on certain parts of the body. Body parts that I think, the body parts that I think should be dark. Ugh, man. Okay. Now, our figures look different from each other. And that was a lot of work to only make a couple of changes, but trust me, that's how it works. If you tried it doing any quicker and skipping those steps, you would not end up looking like this. Okay, so today we have finished. This gargoyle looks really good and is ready to fight on with even the biggest beasts.